It is early morning. This is home. Yes, I live in a fish tank, I know. We will do all these tanks another time, but this video I'm going to go to the shop. I'm going to show you all the fish that are usually hidden in the tanks that you don't usually see. We're going to have some fun. Let's jump to the shop. And welcome back to another video. So hopefully this is a little bit easier to hear me. I am on a different camera. I'm not on my phone. I am Paul. This is Paul's Aquariums. This is Paul's Aquariums. These are Paul's Aquariums. This is Paul's Aquariums. Welcome back to another video. We are going to do a shop tour, show you all the cool fish that we have. As I turn the camera around, this is the shop. I have, I think, about 150, 200 tanks of fish, mostly freshwater, tropical. There's a few saltwater, a little bit of brackish water with the mudskippers in that. What we're going to do, a little mini tour. I'm going to show you quite a few fish that we always miss in the unboxing videos because we get lots of random fish come and go throughout the week. Usually they turn up right after I've uploaded the video or that day and there's just not enough time, yada yada yada. Lots and lots of cool fish, lots of hidden fish. I'm going to show you a lot of the fish. If you are a regular customer, you usually miss when you turn up because they are hidden in the tanks and all that wonderful stuff. If you're not a regular customer, you get to see some cool fish. Win-win, I would say. First tank here, we have Mudskippers. These are brackish water, very cool fish. They spend most of their time out of the water, little head out of the water. They actually grab a mouthful of water and they just get the oxygen from that and pass it over their gills. They are a true fish, but they act like a non-fish. Yes, very, very odd, very cool. These are available. I think they're like $69 each. I think there's about 3 available at the moment. You will need a brackish water tank and a setup like this. If you want to know more about them, just come in and we can chat about them. Moving along, we have a display tank here. Check out the bathtub. Isn't that great? Yes, those fish are using their bathtub. Well, actually, they're just using it as a food, a food tub. There you go. So that is a food tub. We have a few tanks that are mostly got the bunch plants in it. A little bit low at the moment, but usually there is quite a few bunch plants, as you can see there on the screen. We have another tank here. This is a 4 foot by 4 foot tank. Again, lots of plants in there. We have Java fern, we have some Anubias, all sorts of bits and pieces. They're all available for sale. A few terrestrial plants sticking out the top, as you can see. We have this tank here, which is a 4 foot tank with some Central American cichlids and a few weird random bits and pieces. Spotted leperonis, striped leperonis, all around generally cool fish. We have those guys. Moving up here, we have some freshwater stingrays. These have been in the last few videos. We have some pure mantilla stingrays and some Maturo cross mantillas. They will need a huge tank and they get pretty big, around 2 to 3 foot diameter, which is pretty huge. They are full freshwater as well. Moving along, we have some Senegal bircher. Very, very cool fish. Obviously from Senegal, which is Africa, they have a neutral to slightly acidic pH. So anything from 6.5, even up to about 7.5 or so. Very cool fish. Don't get very big, about 30-40 centimeters compared to other bircher that can get quite big, or bichir, or however else you want to pronounce it. We call them bircher over here because we're in Australia, mate, but it could be any other name overseas. We also have some really cool silver sharks, or bala sharks as they're called. They will get a decent size as well. And I think there's some really cool catfish in here. Some bumblebee cats left, might be a lemon-eyed, blue-eyed lemon bristlenose as well. Oh, that was a mouthful. In this tank, we have some really, really cool catfish. We've got some L number plecos, so L397s, which are a dwarf suckerfish, but they eat high protein, so don't really eat algae as such, so higher protein foods and stuff like that. Some really, really nice geophagus. So these are the gold dust geophagus. Yay, bred by me. They are lovely fish as they get bigger. I know, I call every fish lovely, but as I said in the last video, we don't really sell things that aren't lovely. These are really nice geophagus. They'll get around that 20 to 25 centimeter size. So pretty big, but a really impressive, awesome fish as well. We have some really cool catfish in here. I have a few longfin lemon blue-eye bristlenose. I really want to get some more of those because I want to keep a whole heap at home. They are pretty awesome. There is some ghost glass catfish, and I think there's a couple of whiptail catfish left. I think 1 or 2 royal whiptails. Nice, nice fish. In the tank next door, we have, what have we got in here? We have some long-nosed whiptails. I think that's all that's left in here. Usually we have a few pea puffers and bits and pieces as well. But long-nosed whiptails look like sort of a shovel-nosed shark, but a mini version. Very, very cool. And we are jumping all over the place. Along here, we have quite a few goldfish. There's some goldfish. They're obviously goldfish are goldfish. So we have some gold comets, There's a few fantails and bits and pieces. There's some rosy barbs you don't really want to mix with goldfish, but again, they are a cold water fish or temperate. They'll survive warm and tropical. On the other side, more cold water fish. I think we have some paradise fish. There are some really nice white cloud mountain minnows, some gold white cloud mountain minnows. I think we have some platinum medakas at the moment that turned up last week from Keeping Fish Simple, which is Nick. We have some black medakas left, only a few. Some jade perch or barcoo grunters. There's some more rosy barbs. I think there is some zebra dinios, which will survive unheated in Brisbane as well. A few really nice calicos, some more goldfish, and a few random bits and pieces. Further down here, we have some Central American cichlids. We have some Texas cichlids, have some really nice Cuban cichlids. They will color up really nice. They go silver with the black. They are pretty aggro. We'll get a decent size to them as well. Up here, we have a whole heap of red devils. Hello, red devils. Look at them. They're called red devils because they're pretty nasty. They will get huge, about 50 centimeters or max. Usually they sort of stay around that 30 to 40 centimeters. We have some more gold dust geophagus in here. There are quite a few gold dust geophagus. Then we have this area here, which are mostly South American and Southeast Asian tropical fish. I'm still sorting out the tanks down below. If you saw in one of the other videos, I know it's been about a month or so, but I don't have enough hours in my day, but I'm going to drill these, redo all these tanks. Some really nice angelfish at the moment. I think it's about 3 or 4 different varieties in there. There's a random swordtail or guppy or so as well. Moving over here, we have some platies. There are still some really nice Bosmani rainbow fish. They're the ones that color up super cool, like a half and half color. Full rainbow colors, as you can see on the screen, of an adult male. They've been in the last video as well, but just recapping what we still have available this week. Down below, we have a ton of different guppies in there. There's a lot of local guppies, a lot of local mollies in there as well. A huge big mixture of different types of live bearers. Very cool ones. There's some really nice patterns on some of them as well. In this tank here, we have some zebra dinios. There is 1 or 2 festiums left. A couple of little praecox rainbows, which is a dwarf rainbow. Most of these tanks are going to have bristlenose in them as well, so there's a few different species of bristlenose, or varieties I should say, in some of these tanks. We have neon tetras in this tank, everyone's favorite, super peaceful. I think there's a few red-tailed black sharks left. Really cool blind cave tetras in this tank. And what we don't get that often is the golden flame tetras, which is the exantic version of a normal flame tetra. Just makes them look a little bit cooler. Gets rid of a bit of the browny sort of color to a normal tetra as well. Like a normal tetra removing the brown. Yeah, it's just a genetic thing. Down here we have more female guppies. There are a lot of female guppies at the moment. We have some Siamese flying foxes in this tank. I think a few yo-yo loaches left, if I can see 1 or 2 in there. There are some balloon mollies in here as well, only a few left. In the next tank along, we have some cherry barbs, or cherry barbaras as we love to call them. There's a few little fire mouths which get quite big, and maybe a few other random bits and pieces. I think there's a few rogue tetras in there, like some emperor tetras. This tank here, we have some Eliotai cichlids, which is like a pastel fire mouth. There's a few random hockey stick tetras in there as well. And looks like some long fin leopard dinios. Yeah, a bit of a mix in that tank, but still some really cool fish. Jumping up the top now, we have a few cardinal tetras left. There might be a few Hengley raspora. Don't think there's any Corridorus left in that tank. There's a few random glow lights. There's more glow lights in this tank. Some giant dinios, which are a super cool big schooling fish. We have some rainbow sharks. We have, what else we got? Some Pristilla tetras. There's a couple of albino Pristilla tetras in there as well. Lovely schooling fish. We have some clown angelfish that only turned up the other week. There are some pearl gouramis. There's some Chinese sucking catfish as well in there. Some black emperor tetras in this tank. A few peacock gudgeons left and some hidden tail light tetras. Again, really nice fish. Moving along up here, we have some really nice Goida River rainbows. They will color up really strikingly. Some neon serpae tetras, which are another lovely, bright, colorful community fish. There's a few little tiny Texas cichlids growing up and a few random bristlenose. Some lemon tetras, there's a few albino cardinals, and there's some really nice 5-banded barbs left in there. We also have some really nice whiptails in here somewhere. The whiptails are a lovely fish again. Again, I am going with the lovely, but they are nice. Small, peaceful community. A really cool algae eating fish if you want something a little bit different. We have more rosy barbs. There's some Alurus barbs. I think there's only a couple left in there. That might be about it. There's a few fish hiding at the back. Pretty sure they're just bristlenose. Down below, some gold severums. There's one lone chocolate cichlid left. Be quick if you want him. This tank next door, we have some painted rainbow fish, which are locally bred by keeping fish simple. And we have some black neon tetras. I think that might be it. Oh, there's a couple of sailfin plecos, not bristlenose, but the plecos. They'll get about 50-60 centimeters. This tank here, we have some kilbensis, which is a dwarf African cichlid. And up in this tank, we have, a whole heap of baby Texas. We have a lot of Texas at the moment because our main ones in our display tank keep breeding. There they are on the screen. We have some gold panchaks. There is a few random swordtails left, and there's some Buenos Tetras. We have more Texas. There's Texas everywhere. A few Texas in here. There are some wood catfish. They are very cool little guys. Scissortail raspora. So these are the black scissortail raspora. And there are some, golden sucking catfish that can get quite large as well. Are you still with me? In this tank, we have a whole heap of stuff. We have golden rams, lampi tetras, there's some costae tetras in here as well, and there's a few lemon blue-eye bristlenose. Tank next door, we have some redfin dinios, Sturbe corridoris, there's a few culiloches in there somewhere, and there might be some peppermint bristlenose. Yep, I can see a few peppermint bristlenose left in there as well. We have some really cool dwarf chain loaches. There's some marbled bristlenose, celebus rainbows, which are a pretty little fish. Some really, really nice albino cherry barbs, gorgeous little fish. Along here we have some neocaridina shrimp. So I think there's some oranges, some reds. There's a mixed tank there. There's more reds in there. There's some really nice blue neocaridina. We have a few chocolate gouramis and some ember tetras in here. Some orange Astraeus killifish. They are lovely. There's still only a few left in there. I moved their little filter. There's still quite a few. Some local guppies, some really nice male guppies. There are a few Apistogramma borellii there. Some golden dwarf cichlids. There's some female guppies, and there's some emerald eye raspora. Some really nice local bred endless live bearers. Moving along. We have a few display tanks there. We have still got some really nice betta fish on the screen. I think we've got a few giant male kois left, a couple of regular kois, a few tails, and a few bits and pieces. And if you did like this video, click the thumbs up so I know. Hopefully you can hear me better in this video. I'm not too sure until I watch it back as I edit it, which is now going, why aren't I talking like this into the microphone? But you don't really want to see that, do you? No, you don't. I think if you want to see last week's unboxing video, click that. If you want to see some other stuff, click that. And if you want to subscribe, click that. That would be wonderful. We will see you. We will see you. And don't you hate it when the camera just stops halfway through talking? It is much later. Thank you very much for watching. Click the subscribe thing. That would be wonderful. If you want a discount code word, here it is on the screen. How good was that? You can use that online or in shop. We will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye.